MLS recaps are back, especially after a crazy weekend in which we saw a lot of lopsided scores, some blowouts, Lionel Messi returning to Inter Miami, Robert Lewandowski scoring a brace and also scoring his first goal in Major League Soccer, the Seattle Sounders losing their sixth game in a row for the first time in franchise history. So much to get to this weekend in Major League Soccer. And we're also about to go on a 2-week break for Leagues Cup. So this is the last recap we'll do for a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start off with the first match, Inter Miami and the Columbus Crew. Hey, real quick, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The 2026 MLS season part 2 has officially started. We got the transfer window, we got the MLS Cup playoffs at the end of the year, and everything in between you guys are not going to want to miss. So please make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. Now, Inter Miami and the Columbus Crew was a game that I had a lot of hopes for. I was expecting a lot for this game, especially because Lionel Messi was set to make his return for Inter Miami. We also got to see him play with Casemiro. This was the first game that Lionel Messi had played for Inter Miami since May 24th. So it's been 2.5 months almost. And the Columbus Crew are going through a transition. They sold Diego Rossi. They bought Bryce Mendez. They've got a lot of injuries. They fired their coach a couple months ago. So this is a team that's in flux right now. They just sold Max Arvston to Middlesbrough. This game was very underwhelming, honestly. You know, Luis Suarez was the star of the first half. He had an assist and a goal. He had a goal that was beautiful, 40 yards out. Goalkeeper Patrick Schulte was out of goal, and he caught him sleeping, and he made him pay for it and scored in the 16th minute. Very impressive goal, right? Then he had an assist to Noah Allen, which was very nice. Luis Suarez, looks like he is back to his normal self. He's got 10 goals in 2026. He has tied his 2025 total of 10 goals already this year, and he has 15 games left, I think, maybe 16 games left in the 2026 season. So he's already eclipsed his 2025 total, and he's playing very, very well. The Columbus Crew had an own goal against, Casemiro scored an own goal in the first half. So it's 2-1 at the half. I thought Inter Miami was going to run away with this because Messi was going to come on in the second half. Messi was the best player at the 2026 World Cup, in my opinion. And I thought he was going to carry over that form into this game. And he did for the most part, but just the team collectively was not good. It was not good. It wasn't a good performance. And it felt like the Crew were going to inevitably score. Okay. It felt like the Crew were going to inevitably score. And that's exactly what they did in the 84th minute. Bryce Mendez off the free kick. Rocco caught off the blocko, right? He was not prepared for it, and it went in off the free kick, and it was supposed to be a cross, but he ended up scoring. And they tie it up, and it felt like the Miami could have possibly even lost this game. I felt like Inter Miami looked very underwhelming most of the game outside of Suarez in the first half. Messi showed some flashes in the second half, only played for 38 minutes in this game. Miami showed a lot of vulnerabilities in this game. Columbus Crew, some positives, especially when they get healthy, that maybe they can compete and push for a playoff spot down the stretch this season. Very underwhelming game, not going to lie to you. We did a watch along for this game. Very, very underwhelming match. Next match was LAFC versus Vancouver. Son Heung-min continues his hot streak. Scores again, like fourth goal in a row, right? Now this fourth goal in 4 games. This is a battle of the Western Conference, right? Vancouver and LAFC are vying for that number 1 spot in the Western Conference. They both have like 33 points, if I'm not mistaken. And LAFC have to go to Vancouver. We know that the pitch is atrocious in Vancouver. Absolutely atrocious. They play on carpet, right? Vancouver, very good team. Recently just sold Sebastian Berhalter. Team that I'm going to be curious to see how they finish down the stretch and see if they bring anyone else in. LAFC were on a hot streak. They're one of the best teams in MLS throughout the last couple games. They hadn't lost a game since they came back from the World Cup break. And this ends in a stalemate, 1-1. I feel like this was and there was a chance. There was one key save I remember that Hugo Lloris made on Brian White. It was a header. If it wasn't for Hugo Lloris, maybe Vancouver could have snuck this win away at home. The Mueller had the penalty in the 76th minute. He converted it to tie it up. This game was a very odd game. Like LAFC definitely looked better, looked good. Like they showed that the dangerous, attacking duo of Sonny and Denny Bwanga in the first half, because Denny Bwanga had the assist, but it wasn't what we had seen the last couple games as lethal. So maybe they'll kind of cool down a little bit. It's hard to, for two players to score in every single game, even though Son has scored in 4 straight matches. But this is a formidable opponent. Vancouver is a very good team, and to get a point on the road is still a good result for LAFC. And now I think they're still tied. Maybe LAFC is a position below because they played more games and has a lower goal difference than Vancouver. I'd have to look that up. But this was a tough game, especially on the road. To get a point for LAFC, that's a big deal. Son Heung-min, 4 goals in 4 straight games. He now has 4 goals, I think 10 assists in MLS, 14 goal contributions in 2026. He's heating up, looks like his 2025 self once again. And I think LAFC, Vancouver, these teams are going to be vying for that final playoff spot, or that top spot in the Western Conference. And I wonder if things are going to look a lot different this year in 2026 than they did in 2025. Next game, Chicago Fire versus Charlotte FC. Now, Chicago Fire had struggled in their last 2 games. They lost to Inter Miami in the Robert Lewandowski's debut, and they got smoked by New York City FC in his second game. And we were wondering, there was a lot of people wondering, is Robert Lewandowski going to be a bust? Is he going to be another Olivier Giroud? Or is he going to score? Is he going to take the mantle from Hugo Kuipers? Keep in mind, Chicago just sold the Golden Boot winner to Monterrey. 13 goals in the first half of the MLS season for him. Big shoes to fill for Robert Lewandowski, right? He's going to have to perform, or it's going to make the deal look worse and worse as time goes on. He delivered in a big way today. He had an incredible goal to score his first goal for the Chicago Fire, bottom left corner, Robert Lewandowski fashion to put Charlotte FC, or to tie it up, actually, because Pep Biel actually took the lead first for Charlotte FC. And Charlotte FC's been struggling too. So this is a game both of these teams really need the 3 points, in my opinion. Really need the 3 points. And I also forgot to mention, this was Robert Lewandowski's home debut at Soldier Field for the Chicago Fire. So they tie it up, right? 1-1. But in the 68th minute, Robert Lewandowski scores his second goal to get his first brace in MLS. Now, he wasn't just settling for the first goal in MLS. He was getting his brace in great fashion, right? He wanted to make a statement at home for the Chicago Fire. And that's what he did. Robert Lewandowski, all he does is score. And he gets his brace. He's got 2 goals in 3 matches now. He's going to heat up, I think. Maybe the Fire make another move. I think they have 1 more or 2 up their sleeve. Maybe they get another playmaker. Maybe Franco comes back. I'm not sure. But Chicago Fire get the 2-1 win over Charlotte FC. This is their first win in the Robert Lewandowski era. They're like 4th place, I think, in the Eastern Conference, maybe 3rd place. They were 3rd before the World Cup started. But this is exactly what they needed. Robert Lewandowski, have no fear. Don't doubt Robert Lewandowski. He's way better than Olivier Giroud. For people who even compare the two, Robert Lewandowski is a lethal goal scorer. Olivier Giroud was a sporadic goal scorer. Don't ever compare those two again. That's just blasphemy. That's insanity. Now, this game, Philadelphia versus Atlanta United. I didn't get a chance to watch this live, but this was an insane game. Atlanta United was up 2-0 over the Philadelphia Union. They were down a man. It looked like they were going to clinch a win. Philadelphia hasn't lost a game since the World Cup ended and the season had started back up. They had been undefeated since they had reacquired Kai Wagner. They won against the Red Bulls 3-1, beat the Sounders 1-0. And it looked like they were about to lose their first game since the break had ended, right? Since the World Cup had ended. Down 2-0. But then they get the 73rd minute goal, right? So they pull one back, and there's hope, right? When you're down 10 men, anything can happen. Anything can happen in soccer, right? So they pull one back. It's 1-2. United's still up. But then Pierre scores in added time. It's 2-2. So now the Union are like, okay, 1 point, not bad considering we're down 2-0 for the first 73 minutes. Well, not the first 73 minutes of this game, but we were down 2-0 at the 73rd minute, right before they scored. So they're content with that. But then Alado scores to put them up 3-2 and absolutely break Atlanta United's heart in dramatic fashion to lose not only the 3 points, not get the 1 point, get 0 points Atlanta United, who desperately need to start winning games if they want to make the playoffs. Very impressive win for the Philadelphia Union. Can't say anything more about them. This was a resilience win, and they deserve a lot of credit for making a comeback in that game. Other games that happened tonight. This was a banger. FC Cincinnati and San Jose. Oh my God, what a match! What a match, right? This was back and forth. San Jose has really struggled since the World Cup had ended. We'll call it the second half of the season. So instead of saying World Cup ended, second half of the season is what we'll call it. Since the second half of the season started, San Jose has struggled. Okay, they were first place in the Western Conference heading into the World Cup in the first part. Second part, they sold Danielle and they signed Angus Gunn, the Scottish goalkeeper. And it's been a curse ever since. They conceded 9 goals and only scored, three goals in that time, maybe less than that. But they've conceded 9 goals in 3 matches since he's taken over. So Ramirez scores after Mooney scores. It's 1-1. It looks like it's going to be a banger. It's at TQL, beautiful stadium, 2 very good teams. And then Werner, he scores on a beautiful, beautiful pass. Putts in the back of the net. Timo Werner has been incredible for the San Jose Earthquakes this year. He's been a pleasant surprise. A lot of people thought he was cooked. Puts him up 2-1, right? Looks like San Jose might be able to get this important three points on the road against Cincinnati. But then Barlow ties up 79th minute. At that point, second half, it looked like the wheels were falling off for San Jose. Cincinnati was just pouring it on them. Like they were dominating the final third. It felt like San Jose didn't know what to do. It was getting ugly towards the end. It literally was getting ugly. There were so many chances. Backline looked off balance. It looked like the goals were about to rain. And then the 82nd minute, guys, you got to go check this goal out by Evander. I shared it on my Twitter page, my X page. This is goal of the week. This guy hit it from freaking downtown. This was beautiful. This is a clinical strike, top left corner, rocket from deep. Angus Gunn, not the highlight reel you want to be on, buddy, but that was a beaut. Like that goal was incredible. That was a worldie. That was a bona fide worldie. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. But that goal was chef's kiss. Chef's kiss was beautiful. It was incredible. And that put them up 3-2. And then at that point, thought San Jose was cooked, right? And then Jabari scores again in the added time to put the nail in the coffin. 4-2. FC Cincinnati beats the San Jose Earthquakes. What a game. 6 goals. You can't complain. San Jose might be in trouble. They need to be adding I think they might need to add a couple more pieces because they were first place. Now they're in third place. Before you know it, they'll be in 5th place. They're sliding very, very fast. They're treading water. Big win for Cincinnati at home where it looked like maybe they could lose. DC United, real quick. Nashville SC, DC United. Nashville SC was up 2-0. Serge got the penalty, and then Mohammed scored in the 40th minute. But then DC United charged back through in the second half. Hefty scored in the 56th minute. Ty Baribo, the hero, the former Philly player, pulls one back to tie it up 2-2 to get DC United much-needed point after Nashville was cruising. Looked like they were going to take the lead in the Supporters' Shield race. They were going to take the lead in the Supporters' Shield race. I still think they technically are in the lead, but what a comeback for DC United to get the point. Let's see some other games. Montreal versus New England. Montreal has been a very bad team this year. They get a point with New England. New England has been a pleasant surprise in MLS this year. Youth movement. Carlos Gil, still a great veteran. The former MVP is still very, very good, but he has a lot of young players around him. And them to get 2 points against them at home, very impressive performance from Montreal. So that they get a much-needed result. That Friday night game, New York City FC versus Toronto, was all right. Nico Fernandez scored in the 9th minute on a penalty. Jordi Mihalovic pulls one back at the end of the first half. But other than that, it was kind of a snooze fest. Nothing too crazy there. They both get a point. Um, Red Bulls and Orlando. This was a good game. Orlando was a hot team. They'd won 2 in a row. And then the Red Bulls had been struggling mightily in the second half of the season. Jimenez gets his brace. Spicer scores. Forsberg scores in the first half. Dorsey scores. No goal for Griezmann. Griezmann was not as effective as you would like to see him tonight. Maxime Crepeau had some very key saves. I know that they conceded 3 goals, but I still think Maxime Crepeau has been a great goalkeeper. He's got to be in contention for goalkeeper of the year in 2026. I don't think that you can blame this on him. But the Red Bulls get a much-needed win after they had like 2 or 3 losses in a row. And then Orlando had won 2 in a row, and they get their first loss in the second half of the season. Let's see. Minnesota and San Diego ends in a 1-1 draw. San Diego FC, the slide in 2026 has been crazy. Minnesota United, Chocolat scores. It just feels like they've kind of, since Ramsey left, they've kind of had an identity crisis. They've not been nearly as good. And so these two teams are kind of wait and see for me right now. I'm not too impressed with either one of these teams. They've just been kind of, we'll just see what happens on the stretch of the season. Sporting Kansas City loses 2-0 to the Houston Dynamo. Down a man. Sporting Kansas City cannot get those reinforcements, regardless of who it is, Andre Luis, whoever. They need to get these reinforcements for Rafael Vicky as soon as possible to help this team. This team does not have a lot of talent outside of a handful of players. Jovic needs some service, right? Jovic definitely needs some service. Houston Dynamo get the win. Still not sold on Ben Olsen. We'll see what happens with him. St. Louis and RSL ended a draw. St. Louis City just got Jose. We'll see what happens when he's fully integrated into the team. I think maybe they could make a run in the playoffs. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, it's still pretty open. Anyone is technically still in contention for the playoffs. RSL had a good first half. To get a draw with them, we'll see what happens. Colorado wins 1-0 against Austin FC in the 90th minute. Austin FC feels like they're kind of stuck with me. The fact Jim Curtin's not taking over to 2026. Colorado Rapids about to sell Lucas Harrington for $27 million, 21 million pounds. They better spend that money. They better reinvest that money. Do not let that money go to waste. Use that money, Stan Kroenke. Invest in that team. Rapid fans deserve it. Galaxy versus FC Dallas. Oh my God, this game was terrible. Do you know how many times I watched Joseph Paintsil miss a sitter tonight? I mean, that was atrocious. Okay, Joseph Paintsil is such a frustrating player. He had a couple chances and he couldn't score. And then Peter Musa didn't score. He couldn't take the lead in the Golden Boot race. He's tied right now at 13. I mean, and then Kyogo came in the second half and he had like 3 or 4 shots and he was just trying to get involved in the game. Galaxy are broken, man. I'm hoping they sign Mo Salah. Give us, give the people something exciting to at least watch. Give them hope, right? This team is still very, very broken and time is ticking. They could be doing a complete overhaul on the team. Hey, I'm talking about front office and coach if things do not turn around quickly. And then last but not least, the Portland Timbers and the Seattle Sounders. The Portland Timbers started off the second half of the season by beating down the Seattle Sounders 5-1. And it was 5-0 if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 5-0. But they scored one late, the Sounders. Sounders went into this game needing a result. Desperately needing a result. And it was 1-1 after the first half. Second half, Sounders on the road. Yes, they have injuries, right? Yes, they have injuries. Jordan Morris is hurt. Pedro de la Vega has not played this year. I understand that. But they need results. They need results. They're playing a rival for the second time in 3 weeks. And Brandon Bai scores in the 82nd minute to take the lead. The Sounders try to make a push in added time. There's 5 minutes of added time. They couldn't do it. The Sounders are rudderless. They are a shell of their former self. Now, have I been saying that the Sounders were going to flounder, they were going to fold, they were going to be bad for a while now? Yes, I fully admit that. But I was just too early. Like they have no direction. They have not signed any players in the summer for 4 straight years. They have no attacking prowess. The thing that made them good, like their defense has been faltering lately. It just feels like they have no direction. Their ownership is cheap. Like they need to be adding reinforcements. The Sounders that were the gold standard team in Major League Soccer for years when they went to 4 MLS Cups in 5 years, won the Champions Cup in 2022. That team is long gone, long gone. That team is like goodbye. It's out, right? They have to do some stuff. There needs to be a change in philosophy, identity. This team needs to gain its ambition back. I feel so bad for the fans. I mean, listen, if them losing 6 games in a row isn't indicative of how bad things are right now, then I don't know what is. 6 games in a row they've lost. First time in team history, and they've been in Major League Soccer since 2009. This is their 17th or 18th season in the league. And I think that speaks for itself. Not good for the Seattle Sounders. Portland Timbers been playing very, very well since the break. I don't think they've lost a game. They obviously beat the Sounders in the first match, and they beat RSL. They drew with FC Dallas. But Timbers have looked really good outside of in the second half of this season. So we'll see what happens. There's still the summer. Hopefully some teams add some pieces, and we'll see what happens down the stretch of the 2026 season. Hope you guys enjoyed this recap. First one in a long time. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give us a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video.